What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your review for Basketball Wives Season 10, Episode 6. So, we start this episode off. British goes to visit Angel down to her store. She wants to check on her after everything that went down at the tasting or whatever. And Angel was like, listen, like, I just need to take a break from the girls. Like, I'm not understanding why everybody's discussing my relationship. I had too much going on. I can't. I don't have the energy for it right now. And so then they start talking about Jackie and how Jackie, encourages these things. And British, they were talking about British and Jackie encouraging British to stay with Lorenzo. And, she was like, Jackie just doesn't understand when things get to a certain point. Like, that's just it. That's a wrap. And that just seems to be, because it happens again at the end of this episode, that just seems to be like a whole theme. Because at the end of the episode, Brandy is talking to British, and she's talking to her about Lorenzo, like, well, I know that you love him, and I know that y'all love each other, and then she's talking about why she decided to stay with her husband who cheated on her. Listen, I get it, it's a TV show and all that good stuff, but can we please normalize not encouraging our friends to be in unhealthy relationships? Like, just because somebody loves somebody don't mean they need to be together. You can love somebody all day long. That does not mean that person is a healthy part of your life. And it's frustrating to see that because, even when Brandy was talking to British about being with Lorenzo, my glasses are crooked. It's like, why? Like, have y'all not seen how these people talk to each other? Have y'all not seen how they go at each other on social media? He has cheated on her repeatedly. Like, what? Why do y'all want that for y'all friend? Anyway. So then we see Duffy talking to her man about what happened with Rock threatening her because he got mad about the whole Angel situation. And Duffy was like, listen, I'm not even worried about that because me and him done dealt with, like, the rumors have already been out there. We done dealt with that as far as him, oh, I'm with French Montana. Oh, I'm dating this person, whatever. She was like, so that's not even my issue. But, I do want to talk to Angel because I don't want her to feel like I'm trying to sabotage her relationship or my intentions were bad, So then they get to talking about Duffy. She's doing her show in Vegas. She said that she will retire. She'll make that her final show, but that she still wants to do something. She was like, I don't want to be a stay-at-home, I want to contribute to the household. I don't want to not have anything to bring to the table. Like, he needs to understand that I want to have something, and he just wants her to stay home and take care of the baby. And my thing is, listen, if you want her to stay home and take care of the baby and you want her to feel secure that you got her, then go on and marry her. Because even though marriage is no guarantee, we know that, but it's at least a little bit more comfortable for her to give up everything, give up her career and give up what she's doing to stay at home if she at least has some sort of commitment there other than y'all been engaged for 10 years. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what they were talking about. And she agreed that she did agree to retire, but she later on talks about how she wants to make an album like with DJ Khaled, who became a producer. And he actually made a lot of money, clearly DJ Khaled is doing very well with doing that. So for her to be able to make that transition, that would be a good thing. Then she wouldn't have to be out on tour and be on the road and stuff like that. So hopefully they can come to some sort of happy medium, child. I don't know. So then we see Malaysia, Jackie, and Jennifer doing swing yoga, where basically they just in them damn straps and they swinging around. Poor Jennifer. It just goes to show that the thinnest person in the room ain't always the most healthiest, because she couldn't get her damn leg in that strap to do the first pose, much less be swinging all around. Now, Malaysia was very comfortable with it. She said she got to swing in her basement. But she said it's not, it's not a freaky deaky. I guess it's for her to work out. I guess. Anyway. So when they got done with that, of course, they sat around and they were talking. And Jackie was defending herself, talking about how she's not messy and she don't want the ladies to feel no kind of way. She was like, I know people still got something to say. I know they still feel some kind of way about what happened with the Angel thing. But I really want us to get past it. So, you know what? I'm going to invite all the ladies to come down to do a podcast with me. Hopefully we can all be on one accord, be all on one page. And we can make this happen. We could be, we can move to a better space. I was like, okay. Now, on one hand, it sounded like a good idea, but I wasn't too sure that it was going to end up in a positive space, because y'all know how these people do when they all get together and it's a whole situation. Because Jackie is also inviting Brandy and Malaysian. Y'all know how they've been acting when they get in the same room. So we see Jackie, Brandy, and what's the other Noria. She's one of the, I guess she's the one of the sisters. They meet down because Jackie's buying some new equipment for the podcast to be ready for the podcast or whatever. But ultimately, basically all they really talked about was doing the podcast and being in a better space, and talking about the podcast is going to be about like life after basketball, like how it affects them when you know that transition period, and how it affects the women, which is actually a really good topic. And I think people forget that we can look at these women and we can talk about how they live a good life, that their husbands or significant others make decent money, but there is a flip side to that, and the flip side is when all of that is over, a lot of athletes, professional athletes, unfortunately do not plan for what happens after basketball or after football or whatever the sport is. And there is a transition there. The money changes, y'all time together change, and in some situations it is a drastic change. So I think it's a good conversation. I thought it was a good conversation to have. And that's when she let Brandy know, listen, Malaysia is gonna be there, so I'm gonna need y'all to do whatever y'all need to do and figure it out. She said, what is it with you and Malaysia? Like, where can we hopefully meet somewhere in the middle where you and Malaysia can figure this out? And she said, for me, the breaking point was when she bought Zelle, because at the end of the day, there was nothing positive in that. Like, Zelle is messy. She knew Zelle is messy, and there was no positive reason for her to bring Zelle to that event. And she did get emotional, which lets me know that she does still care, but whatever, child. So then we see Angel with her son, and she's trying to figure out where the baby's gonna go. So she basically wants her son to move out of his bedroom and either move in the guest bedroom downstairs or move to the outhouse. I mean, not outhouse, but they have like a guest house. And I'm gonna say this. He didn't want to do it. He wasn't with it. He was like, I like my room. I don't want to move. But she was basically saying that the guest room is on the first floor. So she was like, I don't want to have to run up and down the stairs every time I have to do something for the baby. And his room was the closest to her, as far as, I guess she didn't want to move the daughter either, because the daughter is younger than him. I understood her thought process. And let me tell you something, young man. You didn't want to move into that guest house right now because you just a freshman in high school. You just figuring things out. You don't want to feel separate from the family. And he went on later on to explain that he sort of felt forgotten after she had her daughter. And he was like, I don't want you to do that again. Like, I don't want to feel like you pushing me aside for the baby. And that might be another reason why he didn't want to move into that guest house. But let me tell you something. In about 2 years, you're going to wish you had moved into that guest house, okay? In about 2 years, when you start, getting your feet, your legs in high school, and you got the women calling, you're going to wish you had a separate space away from the house where your mama didn't know what you was doing and who was in and out and sneaking people in and out. I mean, it's probably a good thing that he said no. But, baby, you're going to wish you had took that little guest house, okay? But they went on to have a really good conversation about, him saying, listen, I don't want to feel like I'm being pushed aside. I don't want to feel like you're not there for me. You don't love me. You're not, you're not, you don't have my back or whatever. Like, I don't want to feel like that. And, she was like, well, I heard you. And as a result, she's not going to make him move out of his room. She's going to, he even said, you can start coming to some of my games. And she said, as a single parent, like, I miss stuff and I feel bad about it, but I miss things. I'm not always there, and I know that, I feel bad about not always being there for him like that. So then, okay, so that was that. Anyway. And it sounds like Rockstar is going to live with them. I don't know, but whatever. So, whatever. So we get to the podcast, and the podcast was actually nice, honestly. It really was a good all the ladies showed up, even though Malaysia was late, but they all showed up. And all of them told their story. Like, they all told their story. And honestly, it really was a good conversation. I mean, again, they have a story to tell, they have a perspective, and they do experience things. And like, Brooke said at the end, she said, listen, contrary to what people might think, like, we do take care of a lot. Like, we make sure the bills are paid, regardless of whether we're making the money or not. The bills get paid. We make sure the house is clean. We make sure the kids are taken care of. Like, some of us, take care of other aspects of our husband's career or significant other's career. So we all play a part in that. Now, oh girl, what was her name? The one that posted the meme. She bought some cheesecake she was trying to as a peace offering. I don't know how well it went over. We'll see next week, because we ain't really dwell on that too much. We'll see next week how well that went over. But let me give kudos to the ladies for being able to have an event where ain't nobody getting to no fight, no arguing, ain't nobody throwing nothing at nobody, nobody got put out of nowhere. I think they did a really good job. I think they did a really, really good job. Now, later on, we see, even though British was saying how her and Lorenzo were in a good space, how they were getting along better, but then child, Lorenzo new woman then posted their daughter on her Instagram, and British had a fit. Now, let's be clear. I understand her point of view, and I understand why she was upset. But British, you have got to figure out a better way of expressing yourself. Cussing that man out and yelling at that man and going off on him is never going to garner you the response you're looking for. Like, he made sure that the woman took the picture down. He said, but his thing was, listen, the way I run my house and the way you run your house, it ain't going to always look the same. And I don't feel like, again, I understand where she was coming from in her anger, but the way she chose to express it, it just, she ended up cussing him out and basically saying, that's why we ain't together now. That's why, I'm glad we not together. Just, child, I don't know about this British situation, child. Anyway, that was pretty much the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Talk to y'all later. Peace.